Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shamyan. Thank you for joining me on yet another YouTube video. If you're new, make sure you're subscribed, turn on your post notifications, and leave a comment. Talk to me, like my videos. I like to have some kind of interaction. It helps me out, it helps you out, it helps YouTube find me. But do I really want to be found? That is still a question. That's all up to the universe. Anyway, yeah, today I'm going to be talking about periods, and as I've already said in the title, I'm testing out a new menstrual cup. And because of it, I feel inspired to kind of talk about all the period products that I've tried thus far. I am going to be 25 this year, so I've been having my period for a long time. I've been having my period since I was 11. If you want to hear about my period story, then I'm going to link it somewhere in the cards and also in the description bar so you can find it. Basically, I have two first periods. Now, before we get into this video, if you haven't watched my previous video, please do so. I think it's really important. It's talking about au pair safety, and I know quite a few people who watch me kind of need to know more about being an au pair, and they find it quite interesting. I've kind of collected information that I think is essential before you even start your journey, things that help you during the journey and so on, and it is important that you give it a watch. Send it to anybody who might be considering being an au pair, and yeah, let's get into it. So I was in DM the other day, and I am missing a menstrual cup in my kind of collection. I already have a small, I have a large, and those two don't work for me. So I decided to grab a medium and from a completely different brand. Wait, yeah. So this one looks different from the ones that I have. I initially was buying the Selena something cup. I've forgotten what it's called. Selena Care cup, I think it's called, and it's like €8. This one is double the price, so I am hoping it's going to work better. As always, period products are trial and error, and it was always the case for me. Now, TMI, I have a very heavy period. It is actually concerning, and as a result, I am anemic. It takes me about 2 weeks to recover, and then about a week of joy before my body starts sucking out all the iron that I have in preparation for another period. So I'm always suffering, and this has been the case ever since I was really young. And like most people, I also experienced period poverty and period shame, which means it just wasn't going to cut it. For people like me, or maybe other people with a normal flow anyway, there's this misconception that if pads are going for $1, then you just need one pack. You don't just need one pack. The kind of flow you have determines what kind of pads you can buy, with wings, without wings, what kind of size pads you can buy. The bigger they are, the less they are in a pack. And so it meant that it was really adding up. So I used pads exclusively because, as you know, in Zimbabwe, there's a lot of stigma attached to tampons, or anything that you insert inside the vagina is an absolute no. So I didn't use tampons. I knew girls who used tampons, but they all swam. And of course, I didn't really know how to kind of navigate it. I think the one time I tried to use a tampon, I didn't know how tampons were used. So I literally used it like a pad. I just put it on my underwear. Like, it was so crazy. I thought it went in between the lips. Like, it was math thing. So yeah, 6 Ed. Shout out to Zimbabwean 6 Ed. Anyway, so I used pads exclusively until I was 18. And then I moved to Cape Town, and my mother is actually the person who guided me when it came to using tampons. So I didn't get to kind of explore on my own, which was very useful. And I was like, what is this? What is this demonic thing that you've given me? Because it was really uncomfortable. And I learned that it is uncomfortable because it hasn't been pushed far enough. So the tampon has to really sit inside for you not to feel it. But even then, I remember just thinking, oh my God, I am going through so many period products, because even with tampons, I still needed a pad. And I remember one time I was talking to one of the ladies in this women's group I'm in, and I was like, is that normal? I went through 35 tampons and 17 pads. That is an insane amount of period products to be going through in a cycle. And I was losing it. It was too expensive. I think pads were like 17 rands, 32 rands for like a 32 piece pack of tampons, I don't know, or something like that. And I was unemployed, I was poor. That was still like crazy. But I did like tampons in the end because I thought it made me feel really comfortable. And I didn't have to change as often because sometimes I would have to change every hour. And in fact, let's just talk about the bad hygiene I had to kind of experience when I was in high school, because you know how teachers are when you need to be changing your tampon, your pad, whatever, every hour, because that's who I was. So this is really bad. I used to wear my pad and then I'd wear jean shorts, so that if I leaked, then it wouldn't get on my skirt. And I went to an all girls school, so there's that on that. So we need to correct that actually. So yeah, now I am with tampons. With tampons, I had more time because then I would have the tampon to be full and then I can fill a pad before changing. So that gave me a lot more time between tasks. Um, and then now I moved to Germany. I moved to Germany and I was kind of interested on like uh, period cups and discs and all of that, because the cost of buying it adds up. I use an insane amount of period products. Like I say, if I even show you, let me show you. Okay. So this is the state of affairs when it comes to period products at any given time in my home, right? And these are things that I use all the time. So let me just explain this to you guys because it's insane. I think I'm missing a box. So these are normal sized tampons. These are super sized tampons. These are running out, so I now have the super size that I bought. So this will count as one pack. That's why I left the other ones. And I have minis. Then I have a pack of pads. These are my 2 menstrual cups. And this is the new cup that I'll be trying. So I was going through an insane amount of period products and I always kind of feel like I need to be safe. Like there's nothing I can do about it. I need to have as many period products possible because sometimes certain things don't work. And you know what? One thing people don't tell you when your period starts is your vagina is unpredictable. It is unpredictable. Sometimes your cervix is too low, you're going to get toxic shock, you can't wear a tampon, you need a pad. Sometimes a cup works better. So I'm not one of those people who's going to be like, ew, a pad, or you need this is more sustainable. Use the people who annoy me, actually, if I can rant to people who only talk about these rewashable pads as if they're the most amazing thing ever. That's not a thing, because I can tell you for a fact no one in Zimbabwe can sustainably use that when we don't have the water to even wash things. So please let it rest. But anyway, I have lots of period products and I'm anemic, so I don't have the blood, I don't have the strength, I don't have the energy. Anyway, we're going on too many tangents, so this is where I am. I started using a menstrual cup last year. It was easier because I was in the home, but I noticed with the 2 sizes that if I used a small, it filled up too quickly. The large was good, but because it is too large, it didn't open inside of me, right? So which means I didn't get suction and it leaked. And so I was kind of making do because I'm a cheapskate. And then I just decided, okay, this is a cost I'm going to kind of have to take. And I can't afford to buy the actual, this fancy cup. I think it goes for 25 euros or something, or 25 pounds. Organic cup, I think it's called. And unless somebody is sending me PayPal, I cannot afford that. So I decided to just buy the medium from the drugstore. All the cups have been in the drugstore, and the small is quite good. So yeah, this is where we're at. I'll be testing it out. I will tell you guys if it is good, and maybe I will kind of just insert an update somewhere at the end of this video as I'm editing. If my period comes in time. I don't think it will, because I want this to be out, the video to be out before my period comes. So we shall see. We shall see. That's as far as it goes when it comes to my personal journey. I started with pads. Now I am using a mix of tampons, pads, and menstrual cups. But before I end this video, I want to rant about a few things. First things first, everybody who doesn't allow women and other people who menstruate to have bathroom breaks that are unexplained, you're wicked. Like, please, you're wicked. Sometimes people don't want to talk. You must not know everything, especially with the way you guys are, trying to count our cycles using all the apps people use to track their cycles. Thank God I learned to do it with a calendar. So you can see if they're pregnant, planning for a pregnancy, and so on, so you can imprison them for having abortions, miscarriage. Please, enough of that. You don't need to do that. Second thing, this kind of exaggeration of how dirty and unsanitary periods are needs to end. It's the main reason why people don't have sanitary bins in their homes. I'm speaking directly to Africans and particularly Zimbabweans. Like, it's almost a standard practice that when you have your period, you put your pads in your bag, right? And then that's it. You can offer a sanitary bin. If somebody is there long term, have a sanitary bin, have a bin in your bathroom. And if it's such a problematic thing, at least the person can empty it later or whatever. Or at least tell me in advance where you throw away pads, right? Um, I need to have somewhere to do that. Now, this one is going to be so controversial because I know you guys are doing this trans extremism, anti-trans extremism thing, but gender neutral bathrooms are more accessible for women and people who have periods. That's because they have a sink inside. Like, if you use a menstrual cup and you don't have a sink, where are you emptying it? Like, I've heard people say you can empty it and use tissue. Really, I'm going to put all those particles, the dust, whatever that comes from tissues, inside where? I need a bathroom with a sink that I can really clean and do everything in afterwards. Have a bidet actually whilst we're at it. Let's just have a bidet as the standard. And yeah, periods are not embarrassing, vaginas are not embarrassing. Please, let's just give it a rest, give everything a rest. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for joining me on yet another YouTube video, and make sure you are subscribed. If you want to support me in many ways than one, you can also send me PayPal, and I am at kfcharmian on social media. Bye.